When I met our next speaker, she was quite pregnant. And she had the bravery to come all the way to Toronto, leave two very young boys, very active young boys, in the care and keeping of trusted people, and spend an entire, very intensive week doing NLP before giving birth to her third son. She has so much focus and so much energy, and I know we will enjoy Kimberly St-Laurent.
It was an afternoon, and an 18-wheeler hit a car with 7 passengers in it. The car immediately started to burn. 5 of the passengers got out. 2 weren't as lucky. The firemen on scene then spoke to the mother and said, "We can't get into the car, ma'am. Your son is possibly dead." The mother looks the fireman in the eyes and says, "You have no right to say that. You're going to get into that car and get my son. Either he's dead or alive." Well, next thing you know, he got out. Some of his limbs were burned, his fingers, his feet. He had 3rd-degree burns all across his body. Surgeries after surgeries, years after years. But he pulled through. He's alive. He had to face adversities through school and more. But he pulled through. And then, down in the States, he was hit by Hurricane Katrina. And he lost everything. There, on the floor in his living room, temporary, there was a 6-month-old son. And he couldn't even change his diaper since he didn't have any members on his hands. And you know what he told himself? He told himself, "I rose from the ashes once, I will do it again." March 2nd of this year, I found my place exhausted, stretched beyond limits. I didn't like what I saw, didn't like what I heard. Life had to change, and it had to change now. My family was going to have to pay the price if things didn't change. So I started to take steps. So ladies and gentlemen, we were proposed the key phrase to either lead through truth and hope, or I should say, or hope. But I'm going to make a small little change to this sentence, and I kind of jumped into it beforehand. I'm changing this sentence to leading with truth and hope. And the magic behind this "and" is the power with it all. The "and" is the massive shift of the mind, where one person no longer sees the truth of their current situation, but pushes themselves towards what they need to achieve. Their dreams, their hopes, their aspirations. So, I've been blessed today. There's many speakers that came beforehand that said my talk so I could put this down and put it away. But unfortunately, I'm not so kind. I'm going to re-forward it so hopefully your subconscious mind will absorb it even more deeply and engrave it into your soul so that it pushes you forward today. Because my goal and my purpose here today is to motivate and push you forward in any small little goal that you may have had at the start of the day. My goal is to help you through a small little talk. truth, it's important to see things as it is. If I tried to blind myself and find my way, if someone drops me in the middle of Italy and says, find your way to Rome, without a card, it shows I'm French, without a map, you can't get there. Without asking directions, sorry man, we won't get there. Not only that, but it's also good to see if your goal, are you willing to pay the price? Now that's a huge question to ask. Because it's really great to have these dreams of, I'll start my own company, or I'm going to write a book, or I'm going to run a marathon, or be the prettiest woman in the world. But you know what? Are you willing to pay the cost? Because everything in life has a price. And another thing too, when we have goals, sometimes we're overwhelmed with them. Sometimes we see the big picture. For example, I have 30 pounds that I still have to lose from my childbirth. If I look at my 30 pounds now, I can get overwhelmed with all the things I have to start to do. Oh, I have to start to eat well. I have to do all these other things. Do the exercises, change the exercises every month. So then I change my goals. But you know what? You need to check it up. You need to pace yourself. There once was a story of the tortoise and the hare. You probably are familiar with it. There are many lessons that can be taken out of it. The tortoise was slow moving and the hare was laughing at him, saying, I'm going to race you, and I bet you I'm going to win. Oh, the tortoise says, that's a good idea. I would love to race with you. So they started the race, and the hare runs, and he's running so quick that he looks back and he laughs. I can't believe it. I'm going to take myself on this little nap. So he pulls himself on a nice little stone, and away he went for his nap. But what he didn't know was the nice little tortoise on the side was pushing forward, slowly, consistently, precisely. And before you knew it, the hare woke up, but it was too late, because the nice little tortoise had already crossed the finish line. There's an important lesson here, more than you know. And for hope, it's very important to visualize your outcome. We have seen that numerous times today. It's nice to see where we want to go, because if we're not looking forward, we're not going to go anywhere. It's pretty nice to see where I'm currently at. But if I don't move forward, what's going to happen? And you know what? Not only do you visualize it, but write it down. Right now, write it down. You may already know it. It may be in your mind. Don't listen to me anymore for 3 seconds. Take your pen and write it down. And you know what? Revisit. Not only this a couple of times a day, I do so morning and night. And that's the only reason why I advance towards all my goals at a quick pace. You need to see it. You need to believe it. You need to step into it. You need to feel it and hear it and taste it. Every being of your body, as if you're already living everything you want. But Ella Wilcox said it best. She said, you can never tell what your thoughts will do in bringing you hate or love. For thoughts are things, and their airy wings are swifter than carrier doves. They follow the law of the universe, each creates, each kind, and they speed or detract to bring you back whatever went through your mind. Another lesson here. You have a choice in life to either go through life as an Eeyore or a Tigger. You can see life. I stole that from a doctor, so I can't say that's mine. But I love it so much that I use it every day. And you know what? You could go through life seeing it very gloomy, dark, and very disappointing. Or you could choose to live life with a smile. And I'm not saying to look at your rose garden saying, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, because weeds are going to show up. But if you look at your dreams will also show up, because you have to work to achieve them. And this massive mind shift, you already probably heard the clue. You have to make it a must. If it's not a must, I'm sorry, it won't happen. If it's on your to-do list, but it's something that's not quite as important or something you should do, well, we'll see you next year. Same spot, same space, nothing's going to change. Make it a must, and must, it will change. Persistence. I've already told you the example of this beautiful little tortoise. Be a tortoise, please. And a wise man once told me, if you're trying to achieve a goal, do 5 things per day towards this goal. It doesn't mean they have to do 5 huge things to achieve this goal. It could be minute things. You already have 2 if you say what your vision is twice a day. So that cuts them down to 3. And I'm sure you could simplify it to just do 1. Be wise. You also want to evaluate where you're going, not only visualizing it. So you'll know, has this been a success? Has this been a failure? Where am I at now? And you know what? Sometimes we really want something. We're going towards something. We're running the race. And sometimes we miss some congruency. Now I want you to close your eyes and to think about your goal and to think about your congruency. Maybe there's something. Maybe it's like a self-switch that you always freeze and you're not able to do. I want you to close your eyes and visualize your goal. I want you to see this goal and see the feelings behind this goal. The color, the shape, and the sounds of what's maybe preventing you from achieving this goal. Where is it in your body? Focus on where it is within your body. And slowly, if you'll go back in time and see when you first felt these same feelings and saw these things, put yourself in the same situation. And then be wise and take a step back. See it and ask yourselves the following questions. Can you let this feeling or this situation go? Do you want to let this situation go? When are you going to let this situation go? So now, you could come back to me and repeat that tonight 3 times so you have your homework for this evening. There's no reason not to achieve our goals. The word impossible, neatly cut it out of your dictionaries. Impossible. Tell that to those that fly planes. Tell that to those who invent things every day. I myself, to continue my story, I since then have started my own business. I create apps for the iPhone and iPad. I know nothing about programming, but I have outsourced it, and I'm going to have success. And you know what's weirded me, and a lot of people ground their teeth when I say that, is that 15% of all my sales, not of profit, go to charity. Because I believe in helping people, because that's my core being. I believe a true story is worth living. And what about Billy? Billy is successful now. He has written a book called Rising Through the Ashes. I had met him through the Anthony Robbins conference. And you know what? This burnt man went across the coals before me. Even if I was 7 months pregnant, I said, if he can go across the coals, I have no reason not to go across these coals. So look for someone that inspires you. And one last thing I'm going to leave you with, touch-ins to something else that someone said today, is that when Billy said this to one woman. He said, when I look in the mirror, I see someone who is beautiful.